So let me run a scenario by you. Let's say you're in a video store. Let's say you're looking at some games, but you don't really know what you want. There's something really new that came out recently that you are interested in, or, there's something old that you didn't get when it was out, new, and you don't want any of that, but then you see one game. You see it on the shelf, and it looks interesting. You've never seen it before in your life, which should throw off some signals that maybe it might not be worth getting, but it looks really interesting. In fact, it looks like something you could really get into. So, you know what? You get that game, because you're like me. You're a fucking dumbass. And that's exactly what fucking happened when I bought this piece of shit right here. Do you see this? This? God! Just God! Why? Just everything! And, okay. Maybe it's not that bad. No. Yes, it is. Yes, it is that bad. It's bad. It's, oh my God. I don't even know where to start with this one. It just fails in so many ways. I have not played a game this bad in such a long time. And you know what? I should have known. But like I said, I'm a fucking dumbass. And I said, hey, this game has, dinosaurs and guns. And that must mean it's really awesome. Derpity fucking do. And, that was my logic at the time. Is that, dinosaurs plus guns equals yeah. But no, it doesn't always equal yeah. That just equals, in this case, God. Just God, what the fuck? Oh, alright. Let's get into this. So what about the story, Maybe the story will be epic or something, So the story starts out and you're on this plane, and, there's two grunt, stereotypical guys that are some of the main characters, which is probably not very good. Oh, God. And then you have the stereotypical scientist chick, and they mention something about her father disappearing 30 years ago, and they're in the Bermuda Triangle looking for stuff, and then they get sucked out of a plane, and lightning strikes all of them, and they get teleported, and they land in the Cretaceous period. Okay, so the plot isn't very good. But you know what? I was willing to overlook that at first. Because as long as the game is fun, I don't really care about the plot. Because, in a game like this, you'd think the plot would just be an excuse to fight dinosaurs with guns. That really is all we needed. But the game isn't very good! Right now I'm trying to decide where I should start with the problems. The first immediate problem is that the controls are... What the fuck is your problem game? That's what it is. No, it's not. They're not. It's not that they're bad. It's what the fuck is your problem game. That is what level of control we're dealing with here. As you can see, this is a first-person shooter, and you may be thinking, well, darkness, there have been a lot of first-person shooters on the Wii, and I played them, and Metroid Prime 3 was pretty fun, and, the new GoldenEye wasn't really GoldenEye, but, it was pretty competent in terms of control. Well, you know what? This one fails, okay? You know what the problem is? I can never aim at anything. I can, but it always feels like the cursor moves too quickly for me to properly adjust. And I could never really find a way to get used to that. And before you fucking tell me that, oh, well, why don't you change the sensitivity? You know what the problem with that is? I did! I put it on the lowest fucking setting and it was still a problem. So already we have an issue. And, I'll give the game this. It worked. It just was... And what about the actual shooting? Maybe you get some really cool guns. No. Well, maybe, the dinosaur fights are pretty good. Okay, I'll tell you where they did something interesting that I wouldn't bitch about if it didn't suck. They made it more realistic in the idea that in order to take down the dinosaurs quicker, you have to hit their vital organs. So they kind of mixed it with one of those arcade hunting games that you play where you have to hit the deer in the right spot to hit, their heart, their liver, or something vital to them so they die quicker. That's kind of what they did here. And I would get behind that in terms of realism if it fucking worked. And I cannot count the number of times I've shot a damn raptor in the face with a shotgun and they didn't go down. you know, and don't give me that, well, their vital organs are in their main body. You know what? You know what? I don't care what you are. If I shoot you in the face, you're not going to try to bite me again because you no longer have a face! That's really the problem. A lot of these enemies take forever to fucking kill. Granted, early on you're using weaker weapons and it takes you till almost the very end of the game before you get the strongest weapon of the game and things start dying with a single hit. But it's still obnoxious when I'm shooting a frickin' raptor in the chest with a machine gun. That raptor's not getting up after about 15 shots. That hit, that the raptor's still moving at full speed. You know, if you're trying for realism here, it's not working. At all! At all! That's not even the main problem with the combat. You know what the main problem with the combat? Repetition. And don't give me that, it's a first-person shooter, of course you're going to do the same thing over and over again. You know, when a lot of other first-person shooters, at least I'm fighting different enemies at some point, or, you know, I'm in a different kind of environment. Neither of those two things ever happen. And I would forgive the environment, because, you know, okay, prehistoric, Cretaceous period, most of the planet's going to be a jungle. I get that. What I don't get is why I'm pretty sure my character is single-handedly responsible for the extinction of every single raptor on the planet, because I must have killed 500 of those goddamn things. I don't fight anything else in this game! There's nothing but raptors. Raptors, raptors, raptors. You know what? You're gonna fight raptors. You know, we couldn't pick any other carnivorous dinosaur for this game. We couldn't add anything else. You're just gonna fight fucking raptors. Okay, you know what? To be fair, occasionally there's like one part where you fight frickin' pterodons, and that's really easy because you can walk by them, they'll never hit you unless they're coming straight on, in which case you shoot them in the face and they die in one hit. And there's that other part where you fight Dilophosaurus, and those would be the spitting dinosaurs that killed the fat guy in Jurassic, for those of you who aren't dinosaur literate. And those segments only happened twice, and they didn't last very long. Okay, yeah, and there's one part where I fight giant fucking scorpions because the developer ran out of ideas. Yeah, alright, fine. You know what? Fuck you. Most of the time I'm fighting fucking raptors over and over and over and over and over again. There's no variety here. And there's two gimmick segments that I can do. You know, that's cool. There's a couple little parts that I can do that are a little bit different. There's one part where, you know, I get on a turret and I blast the crap out of every dinosaur that's coming towards me. You know, not that they'll ever try to attack me from behind because that would make too much godforsaken sense. And you know what? This was kind of cool the first time. It was a nice little breath of fresh air. I could get used to this. And then it happened again. And then it happened again. And then it happened again. You know, it kind of got to be a bit of a tired idea by that point. I got sick of doing it. You know, come up with something a little bit different eventually. You know, rather than the same fucking idea. And they last too long. They last fucking forever, and they're not even hard. They just take too fucking long. Oh, and then they had another gimmick segment. Yeah, this is where we have to defend a fort, and you gotta keep the raptors from coming through the windows by reattaching bars so the raptors knock off while at the same time killing the raptors. And that takes fucking forever. That's not hard either. That's just irritating as fucking shit. You just go back and forth between these windows, reattach the bars, and shoot the raptors in the face. Oh, and you know, don't be surprised if they don't die, because that would make too much goddamn sense when you shoot something in the face for it not to die with a shotgun. Oh, and the story does keep going. You know, eventually you find the scientist chick's dad, who's been stuck here for 30 godforsaken years, and he sends you to this old Nazi submarine that had this interdimensional portal thing, whatever the fuck it is, I don't care, and you gotta bring it back, and they gotta do something with it. Yeah, you know, nothing makes sense. It's just dumb. It's just an excuse for you to go out and blast some dinosaurs, and that would be fine if the blasting was actually fun. It is not, and I haven't even gotten to the graphics or the sound yet. Okay, graphics. They fucking suck. I know it's the Wii, but you know what the problem is? The blur you're seeing now, you know how the screen kind of looks a little blurry? You might not be able to tell, or if you can tell, that's not your computer monitor. That's not the video player. That's the fucking game. The game has this weird blur to it, and before you say it's my fucking TV, don't fucking say that. No other game does this. It's the game, okay? I don't know why the developers made this blur. I don't know whether it's intentional or whether they were too lazy to go back and fix it. At the same time, the sound. Okay, voice acting is actually pretty hilarious. It's not awful, but it's not good either. And I could tell that whoever wrote the script was at least trying to be funny. Was at least trying to make these characters entertaining. But that's really hard to make a character interesting when one of the main characters, his nickname is literally Rock. That kind of makes it difficult. I mean, if I had to write a story between, uninteresting grunts A and B, stereotypical scientist with stereotypical scientist's daughter, and no other characters, I think the story would be pretty bland too. So yeah, I don't expect Shakespeare here. You know what though? The music of the game? Not that bad. Like, seriously, some of the music in the game is pretty good. Like, I would actually listen to this while I'm killing dinosaurs, So whoever composed the music, props to you. You have single-handedly created the only notably good point of this entire game. Congratulations. But I'm not done yet. There's one other point. The bosses. There are 3 boss fights in the whole game. They all suck. For completely different reasons. The first one is against a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay, fine. You're on a conveniently placed mounted turret, and you have to shoot the living crap out of this Rex, and it's not that this fight is hard or anything. It's not! It's really easy! The problem with it is that it takes fucking forever. Because what happens is you shoot the Rex, its health goes down to a certain amount, then it runs away. Then I guess there's a entire flock of pterodons under the Rex's command, because then they come and attack you. You have to shoot them for a bit, then the Rex comes back, and you have to shoot it again. Then it runs away, rinse, and repeat. Then, when its health goes down all the way, it gets back up, and its health recharges, and you have to do the same thing all over again. This is obnoxious as hell. Then, you have to fight against a Spinosaurus. This one is where you're on foot. Okay, this could be interesting if it wasn't easy as shit too. And I know what you're saying, how is fighting a giant Spinosaurus shit? I mean, you said the raptors were really hard to kill. Yeah, you wanna know what the fucking problem is? The fucking problem is that I've swear to heaven and high hell that even though the Spinosaurus is literally trying to eat me, which equals he could swallow me whole, he does less damage and attacks less frequently than any of the raptors in the whole game. Meaning that it is easier to kill the Spinosaurus than any of the raptors. All you have to do is keep walking backwards, and he can hit you all he wants. Your health will recharge before he kills you. It's fucking stupid! But then, right before you kill the Spinosaurus, a T-Rex shows up, and some of the Spinosaurus is able to overpower the T-Rex in the exact same way that it did in Jurassic Park 3, which means the developers of this game literally ripped off the worst Jurassic Park movie and the worst scene from that Jurassic Park movie. The same scene that made no goddamn sense because the Tyrannosaurus was a carnivorous dinosaur that was designed to kill creatures of his size and larger because it was more muscular, and the Spinosaurus was indeed larger than the T-Rex, was only a fish eater back then, which means that the Tyrannosaurus probably would have won in a realistic setting, even though they never would have met, because they lived in completely different parts of the world, and oh my god, I'm such a nerd. Then you have to go back to the frickin' fort, and then you have to go out and get this frickin' battery that's conveniently there because there's a drone from the future somehow. Don't ask me how that works. And then you have to go back again, and then the Spinosaurus shows up again, and then you get the worst boss fight in the whole game, because all you do in this fight is you literally walk up to the fence and shoot at it. It will try to kill you, but probably won't. And the idea is to kill the Spinosaurus before it breaks down the fence. Yeah, that's how you do. And you don't even kill it, because right at the end it breaks through, and then you go through the portal, and, end of the game. Alright, that was freaking great. That game was also only 2.5 hours! This is one of the shortest games I've ever played in my life! Although, I'm kinda glad it was short, because of how fucking awful it was. But wait, it's not over, because then, this happens!
Hey, you guys need a ride or something?
Father, I'm so glad you're safe.
Oh, Sabrina, you know I wouldn't rest until I could see you again.
Hell of a hood ornament you got there, buddy.
You like it? We thought it would be best to bring back some proof. Plus, the good doctor has some great recipes for roasted dinosaur.
With a real dinosaur and the Time Vortex Engine, they'll have to believe us. But Father, how did you get the TVE working again? And to arrive almost at the same moment we did. It's just amazing.
It was simple, really. Once Rock took care of our friend here, it was merely a matter of reconfiguring the TVE to repeat the same quantum wave pattern as when we sent you two back. Granted, it took us almost a year to get it right. You haven't been waiting long, have you?
You got here just in time. Just in time. So, What do we do about gas for this boat? Does it even still work? Guys.
Wait, what? How did you get back? How did you overpower that frickin' Spinosaurus that was about to eat you two? How did you keep it from destroying the frickin' dimensional thingy, whatever? How did you frickin' get it strapped onto that submarine? How did you get the Spinosaurus to the submarine in the first place when the submarine was sitting in a vat of acid? Why would you bring the submarine back when it's sitting in a vat of acid? Why would you bring back that one? That's the most dangerous one! And how did you keep it strapped down for over a year if that's how long it took?
It was simple, really.
So in conclusion, the game is really bad. Don't play it. Ever. This is Darkness, and I bid you all a fond farewell.